The chemistry lab that's never empty. I always arrived earlier than usual. It felt like something was calling me, though I didn't know what it was. That morning, the school air felt colder than usual, and the hallways, usually buzzing with teachers and students, were eerily empty. I made my way to the chemistry lab, my favourite place to study, but something felt different. When I opened the lab door, everything looked normal: desks, chairs, beakers, and the whiteboard. But one thing immediately made me stop. A single chair, in the middle of the room, was moving on its own. I frowned, trying to think rationally. It's just the wind, I told myself. But the lab door was shut tight. I approached the chair, and what made my blood run cold? On the desk, there was a notebook. And in that notebook, my name was written. I was certain it was impossible. I hadn't written it. I didn't even know who had placed it there. The words were neat, but the red ink looked like blood. I tried to ignore it and opened another notebook, hoping it was just a prank by a classmate. But each subsequent page grew more terrifying. I'm waiting for you. I glanced around the lab. No one was there, no footsteps, no flickering lights, just the loud rhythm of my own heartbeat. In the following days, I returned to the lab. Every time I entered, the chair was always in the middle, the notebook waiting on top. Over time, the words in the notebook grew longer, more detailed, as if someone was watching my every move. One night, I decided to stay in the lab after school. I sat in the chair farthest from the notebook, trying to calm myself. Then I heard a faint whisper from the corner of the room. I'm here, always waiting. I froze. Panic crept through my body. Slowly, I turned my eyes, and in the dark corner of the lab, I saw a black shadow standing still, staring at me. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. I could only stare back at it. The shadow slowly moved toward the chair where I was sitting. A cold wind pierced my spine. My heartbeat raced. I tried to stand, but my legs felt heavy, as if bound. And then the shadow vanished. Only the sound of footsteps retreating remained, leaving a silence more terrifying than before. The next day, my friends asked why I looked pale. I tried to explain, but they just laughed, thinking I was joking. No one believed me, but I knew what I had seen. I knew what was waiting in that lab. In the following days, I began noticing small signs. Notebooks moving on their own, chairs slightly shifted, a strange smell of sulphur appearing suddenly. Footsteps in the lab after school became a regular occurrence. Sometimes I heard a faint laugh, sometimes a sigh. One night, I dared to bring my phone to record what was happening. I turned on the camera, waiting. Seconds ticked by, and on the screen I saw a shadow standing behind me, slowly raising its hand as if waving. I screamed and ran out of the lab, never returning that night. The next day, when I entered during the afternoon, the chair was still in the middle of the room. The notebook lay open, and new words appeared, greater than, I'm waiting for you again. Since then, I've never entered the lab alone. I always come with friends, but every time I glance at the lab from the window, I feel its eyes still watching me. I don't know when the shadow will appear again, but one thing is certain: the chemistry lab is never empty.